ENCANTO is a 2021 computer-animated musical fantasy film produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios and Walt Disney Pictures. The 60th Disney film, directed by Byron Howard and Jared Bush, co-written with Charles Castro Smith and produced by Clark Spencer and Yvette Marino, written and co-written by Lin-Manuel L. Miranda. In the US, the film, which comes alongside Gucci House and Resident Evil, Raccoon City, is expected to gross $35 million to $40 million from 3,700 theaters in its opening weekend. The film grossed $1.5 million from preview screenings. As of February 2022, the film has a 90% approval rating on media review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes and is certified fresh based on 184 reviews. The site's core consensus is, the context and cultural perspective of ENCANTO is new to Disney, but the end result is the same, captivating, beautifully crafted family entertainment. Out of 40 reviews, indicating generally positive reviews. The film will premiere on November 10, 2020. The trailer refers to the work of Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Anniversary comics that refuse to live in the past. One of the most daring and modern Disney tales. What it lacks in plot, it makes up for in charming characters and vibrant settings. If possible, go to the cinema with your parents so that later they can all hug, cry and talk heart to heart. Opportunities like this don't come along every day. A sweet story that will prove once again that friendship, family and loved ones are the most important thing in your life. Meanwhile, the young protagonists will make serious mistakes that will be learned in the finale. Despite the adult look, ENCANTO is suitable for all ages. Children will love the songs, bright decorations and characters. Millennials will cry in theaters because they understand Mirabel's feelings so well. Well, I want to believe that adults will think about it. The filmmakers wanted to show that we often know very little about our families. Emphasize that the family is made up of different people with their own unique stories. Directors Byron Howard and Jared Bush Zootopia, Moana, said they did research and interviewed to present the story of one big family. Conspiracy. The cartoon begins with Alma Madrigal telling her young granddaughter Morrible that her family had to leave their home. Meanwhile, her husband Pedro dies, but Alma and their triplets Bruno, Pepe and Juliet are granted a magical refuge, Casita, a house with its own consciousness, separated from the rest of the world by steep mountains. In addition, the grown triplets and their children receive magical gifts at the age of 5, with the exception of the youngest daughter Juliet Morrible. 50 years have passed since the creation of Casita, during which time the entire city of ENCANTO has become an orphanage, thanks in large part to the magical gift of the Madrigal family. Everything seems to go on as usual. Mirabel's sister Isabella marries local handsome Mariano Guzman, and the ceremony of receiving a gift from cousin Antonio goes well, but at a party in honor of the latter, Morrible suddenly noticed a crack in the Casita wall, however, disappeared after a while and decided to find out the problem. After talking to her middle sister Louise, who felt her great power vanished for a while during the party, Morrible went to see Brunota, who had disappeared 10 years earlier, and Brunota had the gift of seeing the future. As it turns out, she discovers his last vision, a picture of herself with broken glass against a cracked casita, while Louise feels her weakness again. Also, their cousin Dolores stumbles upon Morrible opening up Bruno's vision and cannot bear it, telling the family about it during Isabella and Mariano's engagement, leading to carnage in the fight. In the turmoil, Morrible discovers a passage behind one of the paintings and discovers that Bruno has not disappeared anywhere, he was hiding in the walls of the house. Bruno says that after the ceremony of accepting Mirabel's gift ending with sword and magic, which disappears after touching the pen she was supposed to receive, Alma allows him to see the future, and he seems to see Morrible in the background of Casita's hack-breaking drawing in desperate vision, runs away to protect his niece. Morrible persuades him to look into the future again. Bruno reluctantly agrees and they first see what is in the picture, but then an image of Morrible appears hugging someone. Thinking it was Isabella, Morrible decided to apologize to her sister, prompting her to confess that she didn't want to marry Mariano, but simply obeyed her family's wishes. In the end, the sisters reconcile, but Alma sees that Isabella no longer wants perfection, accuses Mirabel of a bad influence on the family, and she eventually breaks down, stating that this is what Alma herself expected every time. It's too personal, and it's her fault that magic is dying. Despite Mirabel's best efforts to save the magic candle Casita's heart, the resulting fight caused Casita to collapse again, this time smashing to the ground, depriving all the shepherds of their magic. Guilt-ridden, she escapes Encanto through a fissure that appears in the mountains surrounding the city. Sometime later, Alma finds her granddaughter on the river bank, exactly where Pedro was killed, and confessing that she really wanted to keep the magic, so much so that she forgot those who were given to her by people. Morrible begins to get acquainted and put up with her grandmother. It turns out that in the vision Morrible hugs young Alma and Isabella like 2 drops of water. Bruno arrives and tries to explain what happened and takes responsibility, but his mother happily reunites with him and blames him no more. Pastoral returns to the ruins of Casita and works with the townspeople to restore them. Finally, the family made a doorknob for Morrible, using her initials. Each magic doorknob had the initials of the mistress of the room, and when she attached it to the front door, the magic returned, the hut was resurrected and the shepherds received their gifts. In the final, the family posed for a photo, but this time Bruno and Morrible were also present. Train. In November 2016, Miranda revealed that John Lasseter, then Chief Creative Officer of Walt Disney Animation Studios, had approached himself and Howard with an idea for an animation project. Miranda said work on the project has begun but is in the early stages of production. January 29, 2020. The studio is known to be developing an animated film about a Hispanic family. The names of directors, producers and screenwriters are also named. On June 18, 2020, the animation was tentatively titled Encanto. The project has also been confirmed to be a movie that Miranda talked about in 2016, reportedly about a girl from a magical family. Although initial reports said the film would be filmed in Brazil, Miranda stated on June 22 that the film would actually be filmed in Colombia. On the same day, it was announced that Castro Smith would produce the film and co-write the script. On December 10, 2020, the project was officially confirmed at a Disney Investor Day meeting where a music video was shown and a fall 2021 release was announced. Fire. Disney animators did their best. Encanto is full of breathtaking scenes, bright colors and stunning models. Most importantly, the artists have had success with the animals. Since the city is built in the middle of the Colombian jungle, different creatures appear from time to time, a peaceful capybara, a curious toucan and a loving jaguar, but the audience award will surely be stolen by a group of people living in mice on the walls of the hut. They turned out to be real cuties. The riotous colors somehow blended into the magical Colombian atmosphere. Music. In June 2020, Miranda began writing the film's soundtrack, which will include 8 original songs in Spanish and English. On September 8, 2021, Coca's co-songwriter Jermaine Franco began composing the film's score. The film's soundtrack will be released on November 19, 2021. All music by Jermaine Franco and all songs by Lin-Manuel Miranda. The best moments of the film are closely related to the musical numbers of other family members. I especially remember the song of Louise and Isabel. Perhaps a dancing donkey is somehow involved in it. However, not all family members achieved 3 minutes of fame, and those characters who managed to sing quickly fell out of history, never playing a single role to the end. In the musical design of Encanto, the most complex choreography is closely intertwined with ethnic themes, and the melody is quite simple. They are perfect for the characters these songs represent. While in the Russian dubbing all the songs will be localized and the audience will not be able to enjoy the original performance, but you should not regret it, the dubbing is worth it. For added effect, some songs were sung in Spanish without translation, even in the dubbed version, and the lineup consisted almost entirely of native Colombians or Colombian Americans. Rent. ENCANTO premiered November 3, 2021 at the El Capitan Hollywood Film Palace in Los Angeles and November 24, 2021 in U.S. theaters in Real 3D and Dolby 3D. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, the film will only be shown in theaters for 30 days. ENCANTO will release on Disney Plus on December 24, 2021. The film was also made into a short film, Far from the Trees.